welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus introduces us to the Inquisitors, the Imperial Death Squad of Jedi hunters led by the Grand Inquisitor and including the third sister, Reva, the fifth brother, and the fourth sister. But the real story behind all of these Inquisitors, the one in this series and throughout Star Wars canon, and the way the Emperor used them to erase the Jedi is bloodier than we realized. So in this episode of Between the Duels, we're gonna take a deeper look at these Inquisitors, their backstory from the other Star Wars storylines, and the secrets that fifth brother keeps under that hat. The Inquisitors, or the Inquisitorius, were introduced in Star Wars Rebels as a group of Force-sensitive Jedi hunters working under Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine to hunt down survivors of Order 66 and track down other Force-sensitive youths. We actually learn in Charles Soule's Darth Vader series, this project was long planned. Palpatine was referring to his creepy recruitment of Force-sensitive youths in Season 2 of Clone Wars when it was better known as Project Harvester.
The natural talent these children possess is too great to be wasted by the Jedi. I foresee an army of Force-talented spies in my service, trained in the dark side to peer into every corner of the galaxy from afar. And my enemies would be helpless against such vision.
In this arc, Sidious hires Cad Bane to kidnap these children until Anakin and Ahsoka intervene and free the kids. But Palpatine continued to alter various nanny droids to carry out his identification of these gifted children across the galaxy. So jumping ahead to after Order 66, Palpatine began actively assembling the Inquisitorius from Jedi who were either disaffected from the Order or tortured into submission. The first recruit was the Grand Inquisitor, a Puan male who actually served as a Jedi Temple guard previous to this. He was present for that false persecution of Ahsoka Tano, and he always had a particular ire toward librarian Jocasta Nu, who had denied him access to the Jedi archives. We actually meet this Grand Inquisitor in Season 1 of Rebels, voiced by Jason Isaacs, when he used the corpse of the Jedi Luminara Unduli to lure Kanan and Ezra into a trap. Now, by the end of that season, Kanan was able to defeat the Grand Inquisitor, allowing himself to fall to his death.
You have no idea what you've unleashed here today. There are some things far more frightening than death.
But now the Grand Inquisitor's deeper relationship with Vader is being explored in this series, and the rivalry between these two is a delight. It was actually first shown in the 2017 comics when Palpatine allowed these two to clash without even telling them that they were on the same side, without even telling Vader that the Inquisitors even existed. This is back when the Inquisitors were being trained out of a headquarters based on Coruscant called The Works, before relocating to the ocean world of Nur, where they are in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Now, when Vader and the Grand Inquisitor first clashed, both of these servants of the Emperor thought that they, and only they, were the Emperor's number one, and that first impression left the two with a bitter rivalry. Honestly, if there's anything this creepy old man loves, it's two boys who both thought they were his favorite, locking sabers as he looks for a window to sneer, do it. He loves to sit and watch. So at this point, Vader is given command of the Inquisitors to teach them in his ways of cruelty. He does this by being cruel, severing their limbs to teach them the lesson of loss. Because if our generation had to learn by getting our bodies burned to hell on a hot stove, it's how the younger generation must also learn it. Now, during these early years, Jocasta Nu sneaks back into the Jedi Temple to retrieve a holocron containing a list of Force-sensitive kids. But like any great librarian, she cannot help but reprimand some snotty little kid who she said no to. So she jumps down, engages the Grand Inquisitor, and the two fight, but Vader intervenes. And despite being told by the Emperor to return Jocasta to him alive, along with her holocron, Vader kills Jocasta and crushes the holocron, showing how this guy actually does not want to make friends. He doesn't want the Emperor to make more Sith. He doesn't want to work with the Inquisitors. He wants to work alone, which gives us a bit of context to how Vader now is in this series. So, along with the Grand Inquisitor, let's quickly remind ourselves of the other identified Inquisitors in Star Wars canon. So on this Obi-Wan Kenobi series, we have the third sister, Reva, whom we're still getting to know. We also have the fifth brother. Now, the fifth brother, along with the seventh sister, will later have huge roles in Season 2 of Rebels, confronting Kanan and Ezra on Malachor, and that arc also shows us the eighth brother, who's an Inquisitor tasking with hunting down Maul. But when all of these hunters and fugitives end up in a melee, the Inquisitors don't make it out alive. Now, this series also introduces us to the fourth sister. Interesting that we're now seeing this Inquisitor, because in the 2019 Return to Vader's Castle comics by Cavan Scott, we learned the fourth sister's armor ends up in the hands of Rebel Commander Lena Graff, who used this armor as a disguise to infiltrate Vader's Mustafar castle and free her Lieutenant Hud. So something's gonna go down with this fourth sister and that rebel commander. Now, those 2017 comics also show us the sixth brother, Bill Valen, who first appeared in the 2016 Ahsoka novel by E.K. Johnston. The sixth brother confronted Ahsoka on the planet Rada, and Ahsoka extracted the kyber crystals from his spinning blade, causing his saber to explode in his face and kill him, and leaving her with those two white blades that she wields in Rebels and in The Mandalorian Season 2. The 2017 comics also first show us the ninth sister, later revealed to have the name of Masana Tide, a major character in the game Jedi Fallen Order, who ends up defeated by Cal Kestis on Kashyyyk, falling out of a high tree nest, but her fate unknown. Really, the main antagonist of Jedi Fallen Order is the second sister, Trilla Suduri, Padawan to Seer Junda. The game actually allows you to explore the Fortress Inquisitorius on Nur, and it's here where Trilla fails to kill Cal Kestis, and for that failure, Darth Vader executes her. Another known Inquisitor is the 10th brother, Praset Dibs, who is a Jedi Master who previously tried to kill Mace Windu and was imprisoned, but after Order 66, the tables turn and he is recruited to join the Inquisitorius. In the 2017 run, he joins Vader and other Inquisitors on a mission to Mon Cala, where they engage the escaped Jedi fugitive Farron Barr, who manipulated some purge troopers to fire upon Praset and kill him. And then a few issues after this, we meet two other Inquisitors, a male Twi'lek Inquisitor and a female Redskin Inquisitor, who end up kidnapping the infant daughter of the escaped Jedi Eve Koth. And afterwards, when they celebrate, Vader senses a camaraderie between these two, views it as weak, and freezes the two of them with the Force so they each die on each other's sabers. There has been another Inquisitor over the years who's been mentioned, Jersera, who's a Dathomirian who was trained by some unknown female Inquisitor until Jersera killed that master and took her lightsaber. But what is most intriguing about the Inquisitor numbering system is, even though we've only met a scattered, disordered few of them, there presumably are other brothers and sisters filling in that roster. Maybe Lucasfilm will fill it all in, maybe leave some of the ranks forever a mystery. But with every Inquisitor we meet, it is clear that they were brought up to embrace their inner hatred, their rage, their distrust of each other. Those two unidentified Inquisitors whom Vader killed had been talking about what Vader would do after all the Jedi were found and killed, and indeed, that existential question resides in the hearts of all Inquisitors. They are only alive to carry out the Emperor's mission of weeding out all Jedi survivors. But once that mission is accomplished, their own exploration is next. As the Emperor told Vader when he first unveiled the Inquisitorius to him, they may be Force sensitive, but they are not Sith. Therefore, when the Grand Inquisitor lectures us on his anti-Jedi philosophy, you gotta imagine he's directing that partially at his biggest rivalry within the ranks of the Emperor's mystical arm. He's essentially saying the longer one served the Jedi Order, the closer one was to the High Jedi Council, and to Yoda and to Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, and the more vulnerable they were to that whole orthodoxy's corruption. So behind the drama unfolding in these episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi is a subtext of bitter rivalry and survivalist desperation between Vader and this group of hunters. I want to thank you for joining me for episode 3 of this Between the Duels series. Next episode, we're going to look at what other Jedi might have survived Order 66. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, and subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching, bye.